time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello? Sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. You know, and you run through chairs in the same zone. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs. All the defensive backs covering are just atrocious today for the Minnesota Vikings.
We'll head to Buffalo, stay on the road. I think the weather, of course, having spent a lot of time in Minnesota, I understand the weather pattern. Pick up the Calcutta Clipper, swings down, swings up, lakefront influence, and out. I think we'll probably have about 45-degree weather, so it will not be a typical October 31st in Buffalo.
That is a cold-blooded connection.
NFL's nothing but a racket. San Diego, Superchargers, San Diego, Superchargers, San Diego, Superchargers. Now what do you think? Somebody's in the back. Now what do you think? Somebody's in the back. Somebody's in the back. Somebody's in the back.
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, I always love that one. Cam Dantzler, what are you doing?
You like that? You like that?
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
And the Grom begins in 5, actually 3 to 5 sounds like more than 4. Greetings, good afternoon, and ack, to you and yours. And what a weekend it was. There are so many topics to get into. First of all, that was gold in them thar Studio A. I just had a gold medal in my hands and tried to take a little bite out of it. Great hockey over the weekend. One of the best games I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Twins continue to be off everybody's radar. National Football League, there are signings galore, including soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings just moments ago had a signing. Wolves are back at it again, losing. Batia with a brilliant comeback in the second half. With so much to get to, I'm not sure where to begin today. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel of topic.
Commons colonoscopy procedure.
Well, now, wait a minute. That's getting a little personal. I mean, don't we have HIPAA laws? I mean, you can't just ask me about something like that. We need to get Emily involved in that. Yeah. I mean, I am having a colonoscopy procedure. As a matter of fact, I can't eat for 40 hours. As of midnight last night, my procedure's 2 o'clock tomorrow. I counted 40 hours without food. Yeah. So for those of you who are disappointed, annoyed, perturbed, even angry that Common eats his lunch during 534, no eating lunch today. What do you think about that? Let's go ahead and spin the wheel of topic again. I can't do that.
Wheel of Topics!
I I thought you'd think the colonoscopy thing was funny. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
Commons golf game.
Well, you know what? I just happened to play today.
What did you shoot today?
82.
Where'd we play?
At Oak Marsh.
Where'd you hit it on?
I hit it right at the gut.
Second shot?
I hit it was an okay hybrid, brand new hybrids.
5-iron might as well be a.
Well, I should have hit the 5-iron though, because the hybrids I have brand new hybrids, and it looks like I've never swung them before. Though today I get to 15 and decide to hit a hybrid into a 2-club win, because I hit it. I finally hit one right on the screws and went 180 yards. I mentioned went 30 yards over the green. I ended up making a double on that hole. That's why I got to the issue. I was 150 into a 2-club win, and I hit a 17-degree hybrid. Which, if I kill it, and hit it right, I can hit that 190 yards. But I was into a 2-club win, and I've been hitting it. I thought I was going to hit this big high cut, because that's all I've been hitting. I've only had them for two rounds. So I thought I was going to hit a big high cut, and instead I hit it right on the screws, and it went perfectly straight right over the flag.
Then what?
Well, then it was almost in the marsh. That's why it's called Oak Marsh. And it was, I couldn't get it up. And then I hit a wedge that went flying across the green. I made a double on that. It was.
Well, there's that.
I played yesterday as well. It was 85, so 82 today, so it's 3 shots better. It's wet out there. It's a quagmire. It's a great place. It's a great, if you have webbed feet instead of golf shoes, it would work really well for you. But we still had fun. It was not me. I played by myself. I had a good time. So we're back at it again. In the Ping G440K, do you have one yet? The new driver by Ping?
I have a Ping driver from last year, yeah.
But not the G440K.
I don't know the exact. I'm not a golf equipment nerd like that.
Oh. You should be a golf equipment nerd, because the equipment is the most important thing.
Well, I hit whatever golf fitter tells me to hit.
I don't know. So you don't know if you have the K?
No.
When did you get fit for it?
A year ago.
Oh, yeah, you don't have the K. The K is the greatest driver I've ever hit my entire life. And they don't pay me to say that. Well, they kind of do. I mean, I'm on the Ping. I'm a staff member for Ping. I'm a staff player. Me, Bubba, Daniel Berger. Did you watch any of the golf at all? That's a silly question. You've got so much going on with young kids. Batia, he can flat out play, man. He was 5 back. He missed like a 2-foot putt on, I think it was 8, maybe it was 9, and he was bitter, hot. Goes to 5 back. So then you know what he decides to do? Birdie 10, 11, 12, and 13. Gets to 16, and he said it bounced right over the cup, and he made eagle. I mean, it was such a brilliant shot. And he said afterwards that, well, I really wasn't trying to hit it quite right there, because that's such a risky shot. I mean, but it was just brilliant. It cleared the water. And then on 18 in regulation, he cut it. He was a foot from going in the water and would have been over, and it cleared, and then they went to sudden death. And the Berger guy led for every single hole, including after 72, they were tied. They had to go out for playoffs. So he was in the lead until the very, very last playoff hole. So, but it was high drama. A little better shot making yesterday at Arnold Palmer Invitational than for me yesterday or today at Oak Marsh. But still, I enjoyed it. I do want to talk hockey. Absolutely, positively. I watch. Deuce has become a big hockey fan now. It's basically his favorite spectator sport, I think. Well, I still think he likes kitties. But, we went to the Wild game the other night, and we watched 1A and 2A state championship games. And I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
And I'm fully aware I'll probably be nominated for a preposterous statement. I feel as though the Class 2A Boys State High School championship game was more exciting than Canada-United States gold medal.
Oh my gosh, you are above average at that.
I'm sorry. I mean, I think I've said this before. Of the four major men's sports, or boys or men's, football, I like the NFL the best. Basketball, I like college hoops. Baseball, I like Little League. And hockey, I like high school hockey the best. And that game had everything you wanted. Plus, you don't have, just the best players from Canada, United States, where, hey, we're gonna name you to a team. How'd you like to play for a goal? They're all millionaires, and they just show up, flying jets. Everything is just, it was exciting. Trust me, I watched the third period of that game, and it was very exciting. And it's only every 4 years. But, high school, it's just, kids the letter on the front's more important. The name on the front's more important than the name on the back. They're just all from the same neighborhood for the most part, right? They all live in the same area. They're playing for pride. They're not playing for money, at least that I know of. Has Nils started in high school yet? Do we have name, image, and likeness in high school? And the game was so good. Tonka out to a 3-0 lead. It looked like a blowout. Then the Spuds get a goal, but then Tonka answers right back. It's 4-1 after 2, and you're thinking it's over. And then the Spuds just kept chipping away, and they peeled away at the lead. And just spectacular hockey. Did you see it, Tenna?
Oh, I was out of town for the weekend, so I missed all of the games. I did go back and watch the third period and overtimes of the AA game. I was doing laundry at the time as well, so it wasn't 100% of my attention, but yes.
Yeah, it was so much fun. So anyways, that to get to. We got Vikings stuff. We have breaking Vikings news. Other side of the break, we're going to do Peek at the Purple right here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
KFAN celebrates our $5,000 teacher winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time to nominate a public school teacher making a difference. They could be next to win $5,000 to make over their classroom. Do it now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Couple 13-14 pastime common. He's 10 to be. No Mark Rosen. He'll join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I believe there's still Nico Medved shows as far as I know. Oh, I'm not in tomorrow. That's right. I'll be doing a colonoscopy. 10 to be will host the show. What do you have for tomorrow? Do you have anything lined up yet?
I have zero planned so far.
Zero planned.
Other than it should be 2 hours, and Mark Rosen's taking an hour of it. So
sounds like you're taking after the main host of the show.
Well, I'm going to plan it before tomorrow, but I just
okay.
Not 24 hours in advance. I don't have a plan.
Just trying to be funny. Seems like you're a little edgy today. It seems like you're got other stuff on your mind. You need the day off.
Sorry, try it again then.
No, it's okay. Peek at the Purple is brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Affordable wants me to say spring is not here yet. Well, technically it's not, because it's not until next Friday, a week from today, but I still believe spring is here, and it's a perfect time to plan your backyard upgrades, outdoor lighting, patio outlets, hot tub wiring, garage circuits, and EV chargers, that is, not changers, but chargers. Affordable Electric helps homeowners across the Twin Cities get ready for summer. Schedule your project today at affordable-electric.com or call 612-331-VOLT. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. You've sent me so many links to tweets from NFL newsbreakers. It's hard to even keep up. And now you say there's one that I don't even think you've sent to me. Did you say the Vikings have made a signing?
Yes, they have signed. Well, and obviously this is the tampering period, right, so it's not official until Wednesday. But the Vikings have agreed to terms with cornerback James Pierre on a 2-year, $8.5 million deal, $3.7 million guaranteed, and he gets a $2.5 million signing bonus. He last played with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Last year you played, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Do you know anything more about him? Is he like aight? Is he really good? Is he okay?
I know he's a human.
Yeah.
I know he's a man.
Right.
And I know he plays cornerback.
Yeah, that's all I know about him as well. So, again, not one of those eye-popping ones like where you have, according to Ian Rappaport, the Dolphins are signing Malik Willis after releasing Tua, what do you call him, Tagovailoa?
Tagovailoa, yeah.
Tagovailoa. Vikings also agreed to terms on a 3-year, $22.5 million deal with $12.5 million fully guaranteed with linebacker Eric Wilson. That was sort of kind of expected. We like him, apparently. I don't know the interest level in Tagovailoa across the league. What I know about him is he's a man, he's a human being, and he's a left-handed quarterback. That's really all I know about him. The Packers are finalizing a deal that would send defensive tackle Rashawn Gary to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a late-round 2027 draft pick, according to Schefter and those at ESPN. And then here's another Viking breaking news you sent me, Tennessee. The hashtag Vikings have placed the exclusive rights free agent tender on Jalen Redmond. What's an exclusive rights free agent tender?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is either. I just know that that's what they've done. They've tagged him with that because what we're doing is we're popping tags. The Falcons are expected to make a strong push for Tua Tagovailoa, according to Ian Rappaport. See what else we have. This is kind of fun, just popping in and popping out. Hold on. The Chiefs are signing big game MVP Kenneth Walker. That's per the insiders, inside out. So there's that. And then what's the last piece you sent me? We talked about Malik Willis. So tampering. More tampering period news.
Oh, looks like we're going to need a new punter. According to Adam Schefter, former Vikings punter Ryan Wright is signing a 4-year, $14 million that includes $8 million guaranteed with the Saints.
So we apparently didn't come up with enough dough, huh? Was he unhappy here, or was it just money, do you think? And isn't he considered one of the better punters, or do I have him confused with somebody else? I always thought
he had a good year, but before this year, I don't ever think he was considered like a top punter in the league.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. Maybe I listened to PA too much. Because everybody that plays for the Vikings is the best at their position. So maybe that was my problem.
I felt like going into last year, there was doubts whether he was even going to make the team.
Okay. So then this one, I guess we could insert this sound effect, right? That's okay. And again, punting is an important part of the game. Here's what I would say. Make more first downs, score more tutties and figgies, and then you don't need a punter. Play so well. If you get a really good quarterback and a really good offensive line and then a really good defense, you don't need your punter very often at all. He becomes almost an afterthought, which I think is what most teams would want. And any other Viking stuff? I was really hoping there'd be some breaking news on the quarterback situation.
Did you say the Ivan Pace one?
No, I didn't see that one.
Man, I don't know if I'd be able to find it anymore.
Is he in?
Well, this is along with Jalen Redmond. The Vikings have tendered a 1-year contract to linebacker Ivan Pace Jr., so he will receive a right of first refusal tender. The Vikings also placed the exclusive rights tender on defensive lineman Jalen Redmond. So not sure exactly what all that means, but
yeah.
So it doesn't sound like he's for sure here, but that we'd be able to refuse. We'd have the right to match contract, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it means. I think we're in the driver's seat, in other words. I think that's what it means. And, and still, again, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. I think everybody, all Viking followers and fans are more curious as to what they'll do with the quarterback situation. Remind me, my mind is very hazy. Murray, he's been officially released by the Cardinals, or is going to be, right?
I don't think he can officially be released until Wednesday.
Okay.
But they've notified him that he will be released.
Do you think the Vikings will make a run? What do you think? Or it's just too hard to guess what they're up to. I kind of think they're going to make a run after him. Because I would say of all the available quarterbacks out there, unless you make a trade, he's probably got the most upside. I think
Kyler Murray will be here because to your point, he has the highest ceiling of any of the quarterbacks available. And for him personally, there's not a lot of great options. I know we can argue whether the Vikings is some great quarterback destination.
Right.
Obviously, before last year it was considered that. But given the other options out there, and it sounds like Atlanta is no longer an option because they're going to sign Tua.
Right.
Which might also just be a sign that we know Kyler's going to Minnesota. Are you going to pick the New York Jets over Minnesota? I don't think so.
Yeah.
The Oakland Raiders, you going to pick them over Minnesota?
Because my guess is...
Because money's not a thing, so...
Yeah. Couldn't somebody offer him a lot of money?
Well, I think he's guaranteed whatever Arizona's given him anyway.
I
so
see, okay.
It's going to be the Russell Wilson situation where he just signs for the absolute minimum because he wants Arizona taking the hit on this.
Sure. Oh, okay. Well, nonetheless, so we should know. I mean, if these releases, you said Wednesday, then all the other dominoes should begin to fall quickly, right? Because if you really want somebody like a Murray, you want to kind of jump on it, right? And then again, Murray you can pick and kind of choose, right? Is that what you're saying?
For now, yeah.
Yeah, for now. So we'll see how that goes.
By the way, I just saw Pro Football Focus commenting on the Vikings signing of James Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
In 2025, he had an 88.9 coverage grade, 45% completion rate allowed, and 28.6% forced incompletion rate. Those sound like really good numbers. I feel like he should be getting paid more.
Yeah, if those numbers are good, we love having them here. So that's good news. There is this one text that came in and said, even PA ripped the punter going into last season. I don't believe that. They were listening to a different show. There's no way that PA would rip the punter. Maybe they did. Okay, there we go. That's Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric, affordable-electric.com for all of your electrical needs. Some more. I want to talk more about Minnesota State high school hockey. The single A game, championship game, was really good as well. So we'll talk about that, and we'll do a little wild talk as well with Tennessee here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Your shot at the KFAN Bracket Challenge is back. Go to our contest page and send in your bracket. Get every pick right, and you can win $1 million. Don't stall. Enter now at KFAN.com. Keyword contest. Driven by Dave Smith Motors, America's only national car dealer.
Couple 13-14 past Common Man program. I'm not going to compare it to being... What was the movie that Tom Hanks was in with Wilson, the volleyball? Was it called Marooned or Stranded? Are you familiar with the movie?
I know exactly what you're talking about, even though I've never actually seen the movie.
It was actually really good. It's rare that I've seen a movie that was made after 1972. But so Tom Hanks, that was
Castaway.
Castaway. I'm certainly not saying I'm suffering like Tom did in the movie. But I can't eat for 40 hours. But I'm built different. No! I mean, right now is where I would be getting ready to. Next break, go to the microwave oven, throw in some really tasty broccoli and cauliflower, maybe a little black bean and turkey chili, and some fruit. But I can't do that. I can't eat because you can't eat anything during your colonoscopy.
You can't, but then after the procedure is done, like you can just feel like you can pick out on anything and not care what you're eating.
Yes, but they also do say that because especially if you have a finicky gut, I think maybe and because you're going to start digesting this food, that you should kind of take it easy, kind of slowly go back into it. But I think I'm going to ignore that. And then the other one that's got me is I have sore muscles where I didn't even know I had muscles. See, I just started doing jumping jacks. So I walked 18 holes yesterday and 18 holes today carrying a bag. And I mean, my legs right now, when I get up now I feel like Rosen. I get up and it's like I have to pull myself up like this. And then at first I kind of buckle a little bit. No! But it's just getting back into walking shape.
Sure.
It'll happen. I feel better. Now, Deuce just gave me these two text messages. See, this is what about football. The Lions are losing 2 players. Apparently, the Commanders are signing cornerback Amik Robertson to a 2-year, $17 million deal. And linebacker Alex Anzalone is headed to Tampa Bay, according to Deuce. And Deuce, he sent me screenshots from...
Did I see Taylor Decker's not coming back?
Yeah, he's not coming back. He decided So what happened is he retired. Then he was going to come back. And then the Lions apparently didn't offer him enough money. And so he's leaving. He's going to go play somewhere else.
According to Tom Pelissero, the Lions are signing center Cade Mays.
Ooh. Now where's he from? He's pretty good from what I understand.
He's wearing a Carolina Panthers jersey in the picture.
I think the best center available was the guy for Baltimore. And then I thought this Mays, is Mays, is that his name? I thought I read that he was, again, it's just rankings, who knows, it's all subjective, was maybe the second best center available. And the Lions need help there. They need help. Vikings need help at center. Mark Craig wrote a piece over the weekend, esteemed NFL writer for Fish Wrap Factory Westside. And I tend to agree with what he said. He goes, if you don't have a top-notch center, it really doesn't matter how good the rest of your linemen are. I mean, you just can't have a weak link in the middle like that. And the Vikings right now don't have anybody because what's-his-face retired after the five concussions that he knows of and maybe others. He retired. They have nobody at center right now.
Sounds like they could fall back on Blake Brandel, who I think played
right
at the end of the year. But yes.
But like what?
He wasn't like a true center.
Well, yeah, because what Craig pointed out is like he was a depth piece all across the line.
Swing.
He never played center once in his life until last year. Never, ever at any level. And so that doesn't mean he can't. I mean, it's not rocket science. And he was, I guess, okay. But, it's just the way the league is now. You got to have a strong line, all five guys got to be pretty good. If you have one missing link, like Craig says, it can affect the rest of the line. Now, there are teams that win championships or make the playoffs and don't have five studs all across the line. But, man, you got to have four. It's just hard to disguise a guy, particularly at the center position. And with the Lions stuff here, Robertson and Anzalone, it's not like Robertson was, Deion Sanders and Anzalone was Dick Butkus. I'm going further back for the Butkus comparison than I am the Deion Sanders, but it's still two guys that had significant contributions to the club, and they're just gone. But that's just the way the league runs. With free agency, you're losing people all the time.
Also, if you want more NFC North, free agent frenzy. Kobe Bryant is going to be going from the safety. Kobe Bryant is going to go from the Seahawks to the Bears. He's signing a 3-year, $40 million contract. He has 7 interceptions over the last 2 years. Also 7 forced fumbles.
I'm sorry, I was going to say something and I just forgot what it was. The Bears, they're making all sorts of moves, aren't they? No, they didn't get Crosby. That's right.
They didn't, no.
They didn't. He went Baltimore got Crosby. I kept thinking Chicago because that's my source.
Well, because you reported it.
That's what I reported, and that's what my breaking news was telling me. Here's something that we were talking high school hockey. The War Road Hibbing game for the championship was really, really good. That was an overtime game that War Road won. That's, I don't know how many titles they have now. Handful, right? 3.
It was their first since 2005, but yeah.
Hibbing had won one since 73. I think Hibbing has 2, because Deuce and I were looking back at, they had also had some other appearances, as War Road had in the championship game where they lost, but actually accumulating titles. But the last time for Hibbing was 73. So that was a good game. Can you explain to me? I was talking about the Deuce. I think I've asked you this before. Why don't they have both championship games at night, like one at 6 and one at 8:30? Why did they split them up?
I guess it's for money reasons.
Okay.
There's 2 parts to this. So they have also the third place games,
right,
are before each championship game.
Okay.
So you actually have 4 games playing, but only 2 of them are televised. And if you buy a ticket for the Class A championship, if you buy a ticket for a Class A championship, you're also getting the third place. That's like a package, right?
Oh, okay, sure.
You can go to either game. Same thing for the championship, for the AA championship. But you couldn't have, you could have them back to back. But then, for the Class A state championship, you'd have to get everyone out of the building.
Sure, yeah, that makes
Get
sense.
everyone back in the building, and it would just be challenging. But
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
ideally, it'd be great to have them
Yeah.
back to back from a television standpoint.
And then the 2A championship game was it was a classic. Deuce and I, we after regulation, which Moore had tied the game with 36 seconds to go with an empty net. We checked GPS, and so it was 19 minutes for us. It would take us to get to the slot machine, and we were tempted to go. Then we were thinking, well, if we're going to, after the first overtime, we said, well, it's now or never. And then, of course, we didn't care quite enough, and it's a good thing because it ended in the second overtime. We never would have gotten there. Now, I've had this text message come in, a variation of it on the same topic, a handful of times already today, maybe 6, 7. Here's what it says. Common, curious to hear your thoughts on the second-place teams Minnetonka and Hibbing ripping off their second-place medals and discarding their runner-up trophy. One guy from Hibbing even broke the glass with his stick. He was so upset. I don't remember seeing that ever in a tournament. I don't know about the Hibbing kid breaking the glass. But Deuce noticed right away that the second-place team would skate up to get their medal. Somebody with the Minnesota State High School League would put it over their neck. They'd say thanks, shake hands. They'd turn around and immediately take it off.
Yeah.
And then they did take the trophy and just brought it back over to the bench. And I don't know if they did what, because I've recanted this tale a number of times, including just recently talking about trophies, where when I played, I played for a softball team, slow pitch softball team in Wyoming, Sudsco Company. They were the Budweiser beer distributor. So get it? Suds Company, Sudsco. And, when you play in those out-of-state or out-of-town tournaments, you're allowed to bring 2 non-rostered players. They would bring me occasionally because I was kind of like, the mascot, court jester. I'm the guy I keep the team loosey-goosey, right? So that they, don't take themselves too seriously. Free show is what I'm trying to say. I was doing free show even back then. But we won the sportsmanship trophy, and we took it. They had the 50-gallon barrel trash can behind the backstop. We just threw it in there and left town. It's probably still there to this day. So I think that's what I don't know if they dumped it in a dumpster or just put it on the bench. I'm sure they just put it on the bench. It'll go up in the trophy case. I understand the medal thing, and they're thinking, especially when you lose in overtime like that, for as long as the season went on, you start back in November. You play November,
Yep.
December, January. You get into February, and you get there, and you work your tail off, and then you lose. I just think it's the second place. It's just, I'm sure they kept them. I don't think they threw them away, but at the moment, you just don't want.
It looked like one of them might have thrown it in the trash can.
Yeah, okay.
He skated over towards the bench area, but
I don't know. I mean, is that good sportsmanship? I don't know. I don't think the first place team cares that they did that. I don't know if anybody else cares. I understand the feeling, right? I mean, you went there to win the championship. You want the gold. You don't want the silver. Do you have any strong opinions about it?
Well, I mean, it is amazing, like, how people have different perspectives, because my entire hockey playing, I don't know if you want to call it a career or not, but like youth hockey, like my only dream was to play in a state tournament. That was my dream.
Yeah.
I didn't have dreams of winning the state tournament. I just had dreams of playing in it. And there are so many kids at home that would kill to be playing in a double overtime championship game. But clearly, like, there's some kids on Minnetonka that have different perspective. They're there to win the whole thing. Mine would be like, I would still consider that a massive honor.
Right.
As disappointed as you are in the moment to not win, to look back and you're going to be proud of that someday. Hey, we took second in the state and went to double overtime. Like, that's still a heck of an accomplishment. Even looked like the one Minnetonka captain, he needed to be convinced just to go up and get the trophy. It looked like they announced that captains come pick up the trophy, and all of them were kind of just standing there, and the one was still on his knees, and the head coach was like, all right, come on, let's go get the trophy.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a great look from the kids. I've coached my kids when I used to coach high school, Coon Rapids, explained to them over and over again, when you're putting on a jersey, you're not just representing yourself. You're not just representing your family. You're representing your team. You're representing your high school, your community, and all of your actions need to be in line with not disrespect, right? Because no one right now is going, Billy Johnson was a poor sport. They're
Right.
now going, Minnetonka was a poor sport, right?
Correct.
So you need to have that in mind. Now, I will also say, to defend them, kids make bad decisions, man.
Yeah.
I coached high school. There were things that I thought these kids were great kids, and they'd post stuff on social media. I'm like, what are you doing? Right? I mean, kids just make bad decisions.
Yeah.
They make mistakes. They're kids. They're immature. And while I don't think it's a great look to turn down a second place medal and maybe throw it in the garbage, it's also not the worst thing a high school kid can do. There's a lot of bad things high school kids have done in the world, and we don't need to jump on them too much for it. I'm sure it's one of those things a day or two later he or them are probably regretting the look they gave, but they were emotional in that moment, and that's an age where you're immature and you struggle with your emotions.
I could go over a number of bad decisions I made when I was in high school that would make the not wanting the ribbon, that would pale in comparison to some of the bad decisions.
I mean, you could argue like the Edina game before that. Now I didn't watch it, so I've only seen highlights. Right, I didn't watch the game, but
it was bad.
Yeah, what's worse sportsmanship? Not accepting your second place medal, or basically starting a brawl at the end of the game, right?
It was a bad look, and in Edina, and I think even Minnetonka to a certain degree, but certainly Edina has that. Every day I need attention. They have that rich kid, privileged and all that. They have that look. Whether it is, I don't even think it's true, but that's just the.
They're also unnecessarily. I shouldn't say unnecessarily, but like whether it's at the fault of themselves or not, like they're just the villain at the tournament.
Well,
even though
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They could just be an average great kid,
Right. And so they have that reputation and I don't even think it's earned. I think it's just the idea that there's money in Edina, there's money in Minnetonka, right? There's money in Wayzata. There's more. I don't have numbers in front of me, but I'm told that
there's money with most of these teams that are in this tournament.
There's more affluent families in those communities than some of the others around town. We got them in Woodbury too. There's affluent families in Woodbury. We're kind of
most of your best hockey programs are from areas of money because it's an expensive sport, and the more kids that can play.
And so, the
better your program's going to be.
So then it looks like, well, all of Edina, you're just spoiled sports, and if you can't win first, then you're going to start a fight. The fight thing was bad. I don't remember which kid it was, but it was not. One kid went berserk, and it was like, what are you doing, dude? Calm down, But because it is disappointing that you lose. Someone said, hold on, this one said, that's on the parents. Poor sportsmanship. We win and lose on all levels of life. Bad luck. I'm not ready to throw parents under the bus. Again, it might be in some cases. We've talked about parents of high school athletes, or not even high school, middle school. I mean, I watched it. I watched Pete play basketball from third grade right up into his senior year, and there are parents that are way out of control. And it's their kid's the best, and the other team and the refs are against us. I went to Eastridge versus Cretin-Durham Hall Saturday, 3:00 semifinals to see who gets to go to the championship game to take on Tartan, right, to go to state. And Eastridge lost by, it was 68-60, 68-60, I think was the final score. And that game got chippy. I mean, it got physical. There was some pushing and shoving. Referees had to become involved. And I don't know if that's been going on forever in sports, but it seems to me that it's more frequent now than it used to be, and again, I might be talking out of my where, because maybe it's been like that, but I don't remember when I didn't go deep, and I've talked about I once I got into high school or junior high, I realized I wasn't good enough to play and big enough and all. That's why I got out. But I still don't remember in all the games I called in high school in Wyoming and in Forest Lake. I called hundreds of basketball, football, softball, hockey. I don't ever remember brawls or pushing, and very rarely, if at all. I just never saw it. Just didn't happen. And now it seems it happens. I mean, even all these hockey games had moments where has it always been like that in high school for years, where they start pushing and shoving like they're about to start to fight. And if the refs aren't there, and that happened in numerous games, and it happened numerous times in every game. Has that always been like that, or is it something?
I mean, hockey's always had that too a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an incident when I was in high school of a fellow teammate who we played Edina. They spanked us, and he got in the handshake line and he punched the kid on the other team.
Really?
And he got kicked off the team. Right? It's a physical sport. It's an emotional sport, and unfortunately, even at the high school level, I see the youth hockey all the time where just kids struggle. Right? They're still learning how to control their emotions. And they're still trying to figure it out. And you'd like to think by the time you get to high school, it's also, these are programs in Edina, Minnetonka, and Moorhead. These kids didn't lose a whole lot their entire lives.
Right.
Like, there is an art to learning how to lose. And maybe some of them have just won so much they don't know how to lose.
Speaking of Moorhead, 2 in a row now.
Yeah.
And they've been it seems like almost a constant presence in the Minnesota Boys State High School hockey tournament because they seem to dominate that region, their section region, whatever they call it nowadays.
Section.
Do they we know there are hockey schools. There's Gentry Academy, right? What's the one down by Faribault?
Shattuck St. Mary's.
Shattuck St. Mary's. There are other schools that, private schools that seem to, there's a lot of kids, whether it's hockey or basketball, it seems like hockey kind of attracts that. Is Moorhead kind of the same thing? If you're aware of those, all Moorhead kids, if people move to Moorhead to play?
I don't know anything about where kids from Moorhead are from. I guess it's, I wouldn't even want to comment on. I mean, obviously the Cullens are from there because Matt Cullen is their dad.
Yeah, well, because
Moorhead's been so good for such a long time. I'd have a hard time believing it's not just some school that came up out of nowhere the last 2-3 years because they brought in kids from Bismarck and Sioux Falls.
Well, Deuce and I were joking that maybe they're getting kids from Fargo, just across the border, coming on over.
I mean, I'm sure that's possible.
Yeah, it could be.
But I don't know.
Well, then, there's
But they've been good for a long time, so.
I always heard the rumors, and I don't know if they are rumors. Maybe you can confirm it. That War Road, you got the window company up there, and that there are dads who've gotten job offers there, and it just, maybe it's a coincidence, but they have a son that's a really good hockey player.
TJ Oshie just happened to move in from out of state and he moved to War Road.
Yeah, and so that's what happens. And so because I've told this story, I haven't told it in a long time, and I remember all the particulars of it. This was back in Wyoming, back in 1981, when I was working at the radio station there. They had 2 high schools, Great Falls High, and then they had Charles M. Russell. He was a famous Western artist from Great Falls that was named a high school after him. There was a kid that was jumping from one school to another. It went to court. I actually went as a news reporter and was covering the story because the kid apparently moved just before his senior season, but he was living his family didn't move. He just moved into another house across town so that he could play. He was the best player in the state. He was a running back. He was a combination of Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and McCaffrey. And so and I don't even remember how it ended up. But the other school district was that they were trying to get not a restraining order. What would they call it? Habeas corpus this, corpus Christi that. Something like that to try to stop it from happening. And I still don't know what's happened. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we do, Tennessee's got a little 5-3-4 for us. What you got?
Yeah, the Wolves did it once again.